NVIDIA just pushed dynamic multi-frame generation into Cyberpunk 2077 and many other such games on the new RTX 5000 series GPUs. And yeah, on paper, this looks insane. We're talking about 150 plus FPS at 4K on a mid-range gaming laptop like my RTX 5060. But the FPS 150 to 160 base frame rate under it is in the 30s. And honestly, that one number changes everything. Because this feature can be amazing, but it can also completely fall apart depending on how you use it. So I spent the last day testing this properly. Different resolutions, different multipliers, different scenarios, so you don't have to mess around with it yourself. Let's get into it. So first, what's actually different here? Normal frame generation is pretty simple. You pick a multiplier, 2x, 3x, whatever, and that's it. This one's different. You set target FPS, and to achieve that target, you also set the max number of multipliers you are willing to allow. At the moment, 6x is what anyone on a 50 series laptop or GPU can use max, and that's it. It just figures things out on the fly to achieve the target FPS. FPS drops, it pushes more generated frames. FPS goes up, it backs off. Sounds smart. And honestly, on paper it is. But let's see what actually happens in game. Let's start with where this actually works. 1440p, which is realistically where this laptop should be anyway. High settings, DLSS quality, target FPS 160 and maximum allowed multi-frame gen 6x. Base FPS is sitting around 55 to 70 FPS depending on the scene, and this is where things start to look really good. Watch this. So far this looks perfect. The multiplier is constantly adjusting, 2x, 3x, back down again, just trying to hold the target. And the important part, it actually feels consistent. Latency stays around 40 to 50 milliseconds, which honestly you don't really notice in normal gameplay in single player games. This is the feature working exactly how it was intended. So here's one more clip where a similar situation, but this is 1440p with ray tracing also enabled, so that you see how the changes in the frame gen multiplier happens. So this is much more taxing, so it's like 4x, 5x and 6x. Now let's go back to the 4K clip. Same laptop, same feature, just that this is at 4K, and yeah, the numbers look crazy, 155 to 160 FPS. But look under it, again the base FPS around 30 to 31, 32, 33, and that right here is where things start to break. Latency jumps to around 76 milliseconds and you can feel it, especially in combat and driving anything fast. It looks smooth, but it doesn't feel right. It feels quite floaty, and that's the key thing with frame generation. It multiplies frames, it doesn't fix a bad base frame rate. Start with 60, it's great. Start with 30, it just makes the problem bigger. So yeah, 4K here, not the play. Now 1080p is kind of the opposite situation. Base FPS is already strong, and with dynamic 2x and 3x you're getting around 130 FPS. The target FPS here was 120 FPS. Latency sits around 50 milliseconds and ray tracing is fully enabled, but lighting is at medium settings with everything else at ultra. You get great image quality, ray tracing still on, and it just feels solid. This is like the safe setup. On that note, quick setup thing, because this is actually a bit confusing. You need to do two things to get this setup to run on your 50 series laptop or GPU. First, turn on frame generation in the game itself, Cyberpunk. If you're using Cyberpunk, that enables the frame generation engine. And then go to NVIDIA app, find Cyberpunk and get frame gen mode to dynamic. And here you can actually set custom frame rates or your monitor's frame rate and the number of frame gen multipliers you want to set. So here's the honest take, dynamic frame gen is actually really smart when your base frame rate is decent. It makes everything feel smoother without you doing anything. But it doesn't break the rules. If your base FPS is low, no amount of frame generation is going to save that. So yeah, 1440p on this laptop, this feature actually makes a lot of sense. 4K looks impressive, doesn't feel right. If you're using a 5060 laptop or something similar, I'll be testing more of this feature properly in more games.